Hi, I'm Johnny Kincaid. Want to welcome you to This Week with the City County Observer. We have taken some time off from doing podcasts, mostly so that I have a chance to kind of rest and re-energize and recharge. And now, trust me on this, I take a lot longer to recharge than an electric vehicle. So I am rested up now and ready to go with some great shows. And during this time off, we've been retooling the program so that we're going to be able to bring you a lot more guests, more interesting topics. We're leaning into our relationship with the City County Observer, and that is going to do a lot for us because that's going to give us the opportunity to cover more topics because we're going to be looking into the pages of the City County Observer for material. We're going to be more consistent with our posting. At least once a week, you'll find a brand new episode up of This Week with the City County Observer. And, of course, more communications between you and I as the host. I want to encourage you, when you see something that you think would be a great topic for us to be talking about on the program, I want to encourage you to email me. I mean, we love the comments showing up down there, but and we love it when you subscribe and when you like the program. But even more so, I would love to get emails from you with some story ideas. So you can email me at johnny@city-countyobserver.com. That's johnny@city-countyobserver.com, and send in your story ideas, and we'll look at them for possible future episodes here on This Week with the City County Observer. Now, the big buzz around town has been that fire that took place over the weekend at the Pike Mattress location. We got video from that thanks to our friend Jill Young, who happened to be driving by and took out her cell phone like a lot of other people did and got some video, and we're happy to share that with you here. The fire was really intense. It was a hot day to begin with, and it's been really dry here. That contributes to that, and so firefighters worked pretty hard. We appreciate the efforts of those firefighters in putting this blaze out, but they were they're battling the blaze through the day and checking out hot spots in the days afterward. This is another 100-year-old building, and plus it's a business that's family-owned. This is local stuff here. This is a family-owned business that the Pike family, they're on their fourth generation in this business, all right, and we certainly feel for the Pike family. You see rumors all the time pop up when something like this happens, especially with a family-owned business, and people say things without having any facts to back them up. And here's what I'm going to say. As far as the cause of the fire goes, quit speculating. Don't post the gobbledygook about that you've heard from, your second cousin twice removed or whatever. Don't post that stuff. Wait until there's an actual report. The state fire marshal is involved here investigating the cause, and we'll get a cause soon enough, and then you can post facts. Wouldn't that be a refreshing change? Post facts instead of speculation about the cause of the blaze. Our big questions kind of come down to whether the is the city going to insist on securing the site? We've had, this is one of several of those old warehouse buildings, 100 years old, that have burned down. Lots of dry wood in those places, even though the walls are brick. And, when those have burned down, traditionally in the past, we've left the lot open. So all that rubble is accessible to anybody. That happened with the Pearl Laundry location. Pearl Laundry site was left with no fence around it for, I don't know, maybe 7 months or something. And the fence only went up after a person, not a kid going to play on the brick piles, but an adult went and went up the stairs in the structure that was very compromised from the fire, and had a wall collapse and bricks come down on him, and a serious injury. And after that injury, then the city decided that they'd require a fence around the facility. And fortunately, now there's been a contract for an agreement to get the entire lot cleared now and get that site to where it can be used for other purposes in the future. The other site that they've actually done absolutely nothing with is the old Morton Warehouse site. And we've talked about that on here before. The Morton Warehouse site is acres of rubble from where it burned, and it's left wide open. People going in there and scrappers getting steel and that sort of thing. People dumping stuff on the property and all sorts of stuff. But there's been a recent attempt to put up a no trespassing sign, but there's no fence around it or anything, nothing to secure the site and keep it safe. And we want to make sure that these kind of locations are safe in the future. I have faith in the Pike family to do the right thing, and they're talking about rebuilding as well. So we'll look forward to the Pike family and their plans in the future. Big stuff coming to Evansville. We are really excited. This Friday is the City County Observer Community Service Awards. Woo! This is going to be a big luncheon. It's great because, first of all, Senator Mike Braun is going to be the keynote speaker at this, and it's going to be a casual question and answer session. Susan Kirk is going to be asking the questions. So it's going to be a really interesting time, and it's sold out, so I could extend the invitation for you to come, but if you don't have tickets, you're going to miss out on an absolutely great time. The award recipients for the City County Observer Community Service Awards this year, it's really diverse. It's a great group of people getting these awards. We've got 2 state senators. We've got a scientist / entrepreneur. We've got a meteorologist. We've got a judge. There's some variety there in the award presentations. State senators Vanita Becker and Jim Toms will get awards there. Scott Massey, who his science work and work as an entrepreneur is phenomenal stuff, and you can learn more about that at the banquet. By the way, we'll record the entire banquet. We'll make it available on the page as well as a podcast episode. Meteorologist Jeff Lyons from 14 WFIE is one of the award recipients, and Judge Kiley, who's retiring this year, and he has served the community for quite some time. So these are people who have great record of service. Yeah, you might think, meteorologist, how is that a community service award? Well, let me tell you, Jeff Lyons, kind of broke out as a real name in the community when the tornado hit Petersburg, and Jeff was right on top of that, and has served the community through severe weather situations incredibly well. So big thank you to all of these award recipients. They're very, very deserving. Big names politics coming to Evansville. This is going to be pretty cool. Today is day we're dropping this episode on Wednesday, the 18th of September, and so today there's a pro-life event. It's not a fundraiser. It's just a gathering for Todd Rokita, our Attorney General, who's running for re-election. And if you get a chance to go out to the country club and say hi to Todd, that would be great. Coming, Mike Braun, of course, we mentioned, coming for the CCO banquet. That's on Friday the 20th. And then on the 25th of September, the running mate for Mike Braun is going to be in town. Micah Beckwith running for lieutenant governor. He'll be here September 25th for RAINS. That's the Republican Assembly of Indiana South. And RAINS is just to explain the group to you here, because it's a Christian conservative group that is comprised of Republicans, and they are. They've been in existence for quite some time, I believe since the 1930s. When Ronald Reagan was campaigning for president, he referred to RAINS as being the conscience of the Republican Party. And so this is their Constitution Day dinner. They want to put a focus on the Constitution of the United States, and this is a great opportunity because Micah Beckwith is also just a remarkable knowledge of the Constitution, and you will be schooled when you hear Micah speak. You can shoot me an email, johnny@city-countyobserver.com, and I will let you know if there are any more tickets available. We're kind of right down to the wire, and I heard that there were a few tickets. So shoot me an email. Be happy to try to get you set up with some tickets for the Constitution Day dinner with RAINS and Lieutenant Governor candidate Micah Beckwith. By the way, I mentioned Ronald Reagan a second ago, and I can't mention Ronald Reagan without mentioning the movie Reagan, because that movie, I went and saw that a week ago, and it's phenomenal. It is just, man, they do a great job telling the story, and it's done in a positive light, and it's having been lived through that era. I mean, Ronald Reagan was the first vote that I cast in a presidential election back in 1976 when he ran in the primary against Gerald Ford. And so I've been a Reagan fan ever since then. The movie's a must-see, especially if you're a Reagan fan. So go check that out. And then finally, I want to caution everybody on any side of the political spectrum: don't become complacent about your candidates. Work for them. You know, there's a big thing on Saturday that's a phone bank for Republican candidates, and with a focus on the Braun Beckwith ticket. And I want to encourage people to participate in things like that phone bank. The phone bank is going on from 9 till noon, and it's at GOP headquarters, which is in the Foundry on North Main Street. Want to encourage you to go and participate in that, because nothing can be taken for granted, really, in any election year. But I think especially this year, and things they could wind up closer than what we would think. I mean, the chairperson of the Democratic Party for Vanderburgh County, she's predicting that we're going to have a repeat of 2008 when Vanderburgh County flipped blue in the presidential election, voted for Barack Obama. And, if you want to work toward that, of course, get out there and rally the troops for the Democrats. If you want to work toward Vanderburgh County staying red, then by all means you want to participate in things like the phone bank or whatever, getting out and door knocking and campaigning for the slate of candidates for the party. There are polls, by the way. There is a poll that was released recently that puts the gap a lot closer than anybody would expect. And you've got to take it with a grain of salt, because the poll was paid for by the Jennifer McCormick campaign. And, of course, McCormick is the Democrat running for governor. So, but I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, that it may be a little bit closer in the governor's race, not as close as what McCormick's poll shows, but probably a little tighter than what some people would want. And this should be a rallying call. It should get everybody energized on both sides, actually, to get out there and campaign, push heavily, and try to get your candidate across the finish line. Now, everybody knows my preference, so I don't have to state it, but get out there, work on getting your neighbors to go vote. Make sure that they're going to get to the polls, whether it's through early voting or whether it's on election day itself. But get people out to the polls. It's turnout that's going to make a difference, and we absolutely. We need more people participating in the process. I always think it's a shame when you look at the final numbers from an election and the decision for everyone is made by like 20 or 25% of the population. That is wrong. We need more people participating in the process, and the only way that happens is if you get energized and you go out and knock on doors and you get your friends and neighbors to also participate in the political process. All right. So end of lecture. Just get out there and get the vote to happen. As far as any squabbles that might be taking place, whether it's within the party or with candidates or whatever, set those aside. You can't let those derail you. Set all of that aside and work toward getting the people that match up with what you believe to be right for our country and for our state and for our county. Get those people elected. Simple as that. Do everything you can, and get others participating in the process as well. All right, that's what we've got for this time around. Our next episode is going to be, of course, the CCO luncheon with the awards. I want to say a big thank you to Janet Douglas and everybody at Citygate for making all of this possible with their podcasting studio. And also want to remind you that on Tuesdays at Citygate, there's a noon prayer time that's dedicated purely for praying for our community, praying for the city of Evansville and Vanderburgh County and the areas around us. So we would love to have you join in on that. I'm there every Tuesday for that and would love to see you there. And until we meet again here on This Week, I'm Johnny Kincaid. I want to thank you for joining us.